Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
We are the nation of domination.
What is up? What is up, Eagles Nation? It's your boy BIRDGANG31 in the building. How is everybody doing today? We about to talk them birds, off-season birds, and I had to go get another goat out there, Philly Mike from Philly Talk Podcast. How you doing today, my guy?
I'm hanging in there. 77 days until Eagles football. The countdown is real.
It's real active. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just right around the corner. And just like last year, I am very hyped on this Eagles squad, man. How you feel about them, Mike?
I mean, I feel as good as last year, better actually, because some of the questions that were on the rise or discussed a lot, I should say, were answered big time. A Super Bowl trip, best team in the NFC, a tight one. We gave Kansas City a run for their money. They just beat us. Jalen Hurts did everything in his power. In the second half, everything he did was great that day, besides the one fumble, but he definitely made up for it for sure. So I think that there is some question marks on this team, but I think they're more good questions than bad questions, because I think the battles come July 25th through August is going to be epic.
Yeah, the battles are real. You know, there's some real battles going on. You know, we got the O-line. We're going to talk a little bit about all of it. You know what I'm saying? First off, the draft. You know, I don't think we've collapsed since the draft. So what's your take on these Georgia boys, man? How you feeling about them?
I mean, as soon as Ringo was selected, and he wasn't the main one I was looking at. I love Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, but as soon as Ringo was selected, my mind just went full hard body into the Philly dog mantras, and definitely got both Jordan Davis and the Kobe Dean on the shirt too. But I love the idea that how we implemented, go get the best defensive players from the best defensive team and let them marinate with some great Eagle defensive players, and then just become, you know, a unit of solid youth and experienced veterans. Like, our veterans are still playing top-notch football. Like, BG had his best year, aging like fine wine. Fletch was a 7-sack guy in the inside, great rotational piece. And then you look at Slay, 30-something years old, still getting it done. So I like our veterans to mentor these young Philly dogs, but I think the Philly dogs have so much potential, and I think it was a A++ draft. Howie's been killing it for sure.
Yeah, Howie Roseman, go get your king of the cap, Howie. Matrix style shirt because it is out there. Shout out to Print Champs, man. They got the Philly dog, we got the Hurt season hats, and now we got the Howie King of Caps shirts out there, man. They're definitely knocking it out the park for the Eagles merchandise out there. So if you are an Eagles fan, go hit it up. There's a lot of people putting some nice, apparel out there. So with these Georgia boys, though, who do you think is going to have the biggest impact this year? A lot of people want to say Jalen Carter. I can see why, but I'm starting to feel like it's going to be Nolan Smith, man. This guy got an opportunity to be something special. Like from his interviews, the way that his passion flows, they're comparing his game to Hassan Reddick, and, he's out there working out with Micah Parsons and Von Miller, these guys. And then he tells you got the energy of a BG, and BG's about to be gone. So we're going to need someone to come in and, bring that spark on that defensive line. And from what is said so far, obviously we got to see it on the field. This guy right now, I think, could be the leader out of those boys.
I mean, he's the real deal. An article was written about him being the Jalen Hurts on defense, and that's a tall task to say because Jalen Hurts is always laser focused. Keeps the main thing for sure. But I'm a Nolan guy. Like I would have been okay if we ended up picking him at 10, moving back to 13, 14 and taking him because I thought he would be selected in the teens. When he got to the 20s, I said, next pick's Nolan, next pick's Nolan, next pick Nolan, all the way up into 30. And I wanted him so badly. I got a little bit of slack on my on two of my Nolan Smith videos prior to the draft saying I'd be okay with taking him in the teens or at 10 if there was no Bijan and no Jalen Carter. But as soon as Jalen Carter slipped, I definitely started saying, let's go. Like all Eagle Nation, Nolan Smith has the chance to be very impactful because there's a idea of him playing a little bit off-ball linebacker. I don't think that's what they're going to feature him as. His feature and what he's brought here to be is the next Hassan Reddick, a pass rusher, a guy who can stop the run while rushing the passer. But if he could play some off-ball linebacker, that makes his rookie season even more impactful, that he'll be on the field a lot, playing a lot of snaps for the simple fact that, we have a nice rotational piece. Think Sweat, Reddick, and BG. They're all going to get time. Now, BG snaps were down to 47% last year. Still got a stacks. So Nolan Smith's snaps are going to be, 30%, 25, 40% at the most if it's only pass rush. But if he can be an off-ball linebacker at times and heavy linebacker sets and whatnot in certain zones because of his 4-3 speed side to side, tracking down running backs and, tight ends, well, then now he's playing 60, 70% of the snaps because when he's not pass rushing, he's still got a spot on the team, which also helps the linebacking core that a lot of people are worried about. But don't get this mistaken. Jalen Carter is going to be a monster. I think when they redo this draft, you're going to see both Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter in the top 10. I still got to say that for what we're going to be asking these guys to do early, I think Jalen Carter is going to have a huge impact because what he does better than Hargrave is stop the run on the way to rushing the passer. I'm not saying he's going to come out and get 11 sacks like Hargrave, but the run stopping ability is there for Jalen. I mean, I think Nolan is the fan favorite right now. He's getting the most attention. Carter's got his head down, but when people see Carter play, they're going to realize why he was projected to be the best defensive player in this draft.
Yeah, projected to go number 1 overall. They said without that mishap, he could have been a Texan. Or who drafted first? Was it Texans? Who drafted first, or was it?
It was the Bears. They traded back.
Bears. Yeah. Man, these Georgia Bulldog players, I like it. For a lot of reasons. Chemistry alone is going to make all of them play better. Knowing that they've won championships together, they've been through the fire together, and now they're here in the pros together in Philly. It's going to be awesome to see these guys play. Do you think which class? That's another one I have. Which class do you think is better? It's going to have a bigger impact this year. You think it's going to be last year's Dean and Jordan Davis, or you think it's going to be this year Nolan and Carter?
I mean, the betting odds are that the 2022 class is going to have. They got the year of experience, right? Like the transition from college to the NFL is real. Like just the day-to-day activities, being more famous, having to talk to your agent, you're down, like you want to have the time to study and whatnot, but you got so many things coming at you, from family to this, that, and the third, friends you haven't heard of in a while. Yo, can I get tickets and whatnot? So all that does play a part in you adjusting to be an NFL player. And we're asking big things from the Kobe Dean, Jordan Davis, and possibly Cam Jurgens, because Jason Kelsey said today on Jacob Media that he kind of thinks that Jurgens might win that right guard spot. So with that being said, you might have your first, second, and third round draft pick play starter minutes, starter role. And so I expect more from the 2022, but I think the 2023 draft is ready to fight, including Sidney Brown and Tyler Steen, who I don't think is going to back down. It's going to be interesting because somebody from the 2022 draft that we don't talk about a lot, and he is from the 2022 draft. He was not drafted, but he was a UDFA, and that's Reed Blankenship. So there's so many battles between 2022 D tackle Jordan Davis, 2023 D tackle Jalen Carter. Not for starter minutes, but just like, or maybe it's for starting. Maybe it's for who gets more snaps early in the season, but you got a safety battle from 22 to 23 and Brown and Reed. You got a D tackle battle, Davis and Carter, and you got a right guard battle, all from the 22-23 class. So I think it's going to be a clash of the Titans, because I think it was our back-to-back two best drafts. I mean, I like the Smitty draft too, because Smitty's a dog, but it was two back-to-back great drafts. And we're going to see which one's better. The 22 has more experience. They got the edge, but don't count out the 2023 draft for sure.
Facts, man. Facts. And this boy, Jordan Davis, this guy, man, I think a lot of people are not giving this guy enough credit. I think people still think he's just going to be some fat lob in the middle of this defensive line that's, holding up double teams. And I don't believe so. We didn't draft this guy last year, in the first round, 13 overall, just to be some slouch and just clog up holes. I don't think. We've seen the physical gift. We've seen his athleticism. We've seen all that stuff to make us believe it. You see that right here, definitely know what's expected of me, and I'm ready to meet those expectations. I think Jordan Davis is about to change the whole position of DT. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think that because he's so big, that makes him a nose tackle. He's just going to be that guy in the middle plugging up holes. But I really think he's going to be a lot more than what people think, We were so excited when we did get him last year, thinking like, well, look at the athletic freak. We're comparing him more to like a Fletcher Cox. And, Fletcher Cox gets, 7 sacks a year, somewhere around there. And I think Jordan Davis could be that guy that's coming in to replace Hargrave. He don't want little brother coming in, taking up his minutes. He want to show little brother that he's been in here, he understands the system, and he's learned, and he's bigger. He's bigger, period. He's a bigger, more athletic guy than Jalen Carter. And I get it, Jalen Carter's more of a pass rusher, but at the end of the day, look at this guy. Look at him next to Jalen Carter. Tell me who you think is bigger. Who looks more scarier to you on the football field?
Oh, no doubt, Jalen Carter is big, but not that big compared to Jordan Davis for sure. And this is a slim down Jordan Davis that's bigger than Jalen Carter. But
he have a stomach.
Exactly. My man looked like Thor out there, or the Incredible Hulk, I should say. I'm with you. Maybe I'm with you mostly because I've always said that Jalen Carter's coming out to be the nose tackle. He's not going to have stats. He's going to be disruptive. This, that, and the third. He's going to make other players look better while he eats up defenders and does what he does. Pulls. But I always thought that he wasn't asked to rush the passer. He wasn't asked to play third down snaps in Georgia because of the rotation. Now, did that do harm in his conditioning and his mentality? It might have, and it might have took a year to get him out of that funk, plus the injury. I think the more he plays in the NFL, the more he adapts, the more he's going to be able to be useful longer and play more snaps, right? His condition is going to be better. When that is all good, whether it's this year, next year, I think he has the quick feet, the swim move, the athleticism to rush the passer. Like, the thing is this, right? We talk about guys like, Jalen Mills or Avonte Maddox, right? They are drafted at a position, but the NFL plays them at another position, right? So this guy was drafted as a nose tackle, but he has the gifts to become more than that, it's up to him to do it. And it might take a little bit, right? Like year one, we seen him be disruptive, stop the run. He got hurt, played up behind a lot of veterans. Okay, cool. Year two, we might see him play more snaps and be disruptive. But I think before his rookie contract's up, you're going to see a Jordan Davis that we've never seen in college, because I believe he has the tools. I believe it's coming. I just don't know if it's coming quite yet. But I just need his snaps to go up. I need him to stay healthy. And by doing that, he's going to be the Jordan Davis we know already. And I think his bag's only going to get better. I love this D tackle. I love the defensive line coach, Tracy Rockers, right? I love the guys like Milton Williams, Fletcher
Marlon.
Cox, as you said, little brother Jalen Carter. His bag's going to grow. And a lot of people his size, even if their bags grow, they just don't have the athleticism to do it. He's going to be able to grow his bag with the athleticism. So I think it's in his future. I just don't know if it's going to be year two, because I think with the amount of guys who can get the quarterback, the Eagles are going to ask him to do something, right? Like when we talked to Milton Williams, right? I watched his tape before the interview with me and LB and Milton Williams, and I saw that the Eagles at times had him contain, right? So as much as he wants to go get the pass rusher, his job is to contain and then get him if he steps up in the pocket or not, right? So as much as he wants to do it, he got to watch as Hassan and Sweat and Fletch go get the quarterback, pin their ears. So if that's asked of Jordan Davis, he got to do it. And I think that's going to be asked of him first as things trickle down the season. Jordan Davis is going to be he's going to be a 10-year Eagle, and we're all going to love him. That's I believe that wholeheartedly. All the Philly dogs are going to play. Like, I don't know if Ringo's going to play this year or next year, but the four guys are going to show why they were part of the best defense in college football ever.
Yeah, and I see how Lil said they play two different positions. I understand that. But I'm just saying, like, Jordan Davis can play, like you said, Frank, the athleticism, the physicality can make him play whatever position you want. Like, you don't get guys that big, that fast. You don't get that guys that, fast and strong to the point where it's like, if he does hit that light switch, and having a season like last year where you played all the way to the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? Like, not played, but you're on a team all the way through the Super Bowl. You went through the long season plus the playoff where you got to fully experience that in your rookie year. You understand what it takes now. You understand why you weren't on that football field, as much as you want to be. And you understand that it's time for you to step up and, do your thing. We didn't play Hargrave for a reason. We had a DT. We went out and drafted another one. A lot of people I've heard, I had Tony Shields on it. Shout out to Tony Shields, Chocolate Up Sports. He was like, well, it shows that the Eagles don't really, believe that much into Jordan Davis in terms of like they went out and got another DT, and I was like, no, they just know that Hargrave wasn't going to get paid and Fletch is on this last leg. To me, I think by game 3, we probably see Jordan Davis and Carter as your two starters, and in Fletch be more of a rotational piece coming through there. Because why not? That can help his career, that can extend his career. You see it working for Brandon Graham right now. You know what I'm saying? So why not do that with Fletch? But I really think Jordan Davis is going to come out there. He's going to change the game at DT, like, because the size, usually like all the guys that size, Via Veas, even like, I don't know too many other DTs that's that big, but he's one that come to mind. He was a Pro Bowler and he didn't even get no sacks. You know what I'm saying? He just clogged the middle and did his job. And if that's all that's asked for me, I feel like that's his floor, because he did that. If you watch Jordan Davis before he got hurt last year, we were top 5 in stopping the run. How he took 2 games to see if his other DTs can stop this run before he went out and got Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh, because he's like, hey, they can't do it. Jordan Davis wasn't healthy. They're like, okay, let's go get 2 veterans. And in that moment, I think he realized he was redshirting Jordan Davis. Everybody's like, well, he was on the team the rest of the year. He was healthy. He didn't get that much PT. But you don't sign, Linval and Suh to sit him on the bench. Yeah, they're older cats, but they're still some of the best DTs in the game. Plus knowledge for Jordan Davis. He was practicing with Linval. He was practicing with Suh. He was practicing with Fletch. He was practicing with Hargrave. These are all some of the best DTs in the game today. So it's like, for him not to, he talked about in his interview, for him not to get the knowledge, not to understand the game a lot more faster, speed up that process of becoming a great, DT in the league. Plus he's still young. It could be his own misfortune. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm really high on Jordan Davis going this year. I know Carter's going to do his thing too. Like, I'm hoping that he is everything that everybody thinks he is. I hope it was just an off-season thing that, the graces of God, have him fall to us at 9, and we got the best DT. I mean, we got the best player in college football last year on our football team. But I just think, it's not going to be given to him. He's going to have to earn it, and I think he can. I think he can beat out Fletch. Just because Fletch is older. Fletch had a good season last year. I love Fletch. I just think he's older and he'd be more of a rotational piece in the second. I think your second lineup coming in would be Fletch and Milton.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing though. Say Fletch does start. It doesn't matter. He can be the starter, but guess what? By the end of the game, Jalen Carter, 40, 32 snaps, Jordan Davis, 29 snaps, Fletcher Cox, 26 snaps, right? Like the starter might not have the most snaps. It's whoever has the most snaps is going to be the guy you count on mostly. I will say this though, to what you were saying about Tony Shields saying and all that, and shout out to him for sure. And I understand where he's going with it, but I think drafting Jalen Carter had nothing to do with Jordan Davis's rookie season. If you want to point fingers, you can say that they're not fully sure of a Milton Williams, right? Because it is what it is. But I don't think they're not sure of Milton Williams. I don't think they're not sure of Jordan Davis. It's just what we do. We draft in the trenches on both sides. And listen to this. Howie Roseman said since that Jalen Reagor pick, we're not picking for need. We're picking best player available. So we could have had Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox. Shoot, we could have re-signed Hargrave. Jalen Carter's there. We're drafting him. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Sorry. And it does make sense because Fletch is on his last leg or two. So I think if you would have signed Hargrave, maybe not for 20 million, but if he was in 14, 15, I still think you draft Jalen Carter because that's just what you do. You draft the best player, and he was the best player on the board. He was the best player on the board from round 1 to round 9 when we took him.
Facts. You guys know I was team Bijan. I did want Bijan. I was so sad. I thought Atlanta for sure was going to take Jalen Carter, and he's going to just fall right there in our laps, baby. But no. They went and got him, Bijan, and I was like, okay, I'm cool with Jalen Carter too as well. So that was a good pickup for both of us. But like you were saying, building the trenches. Look at this, guys. We are number 1 in both offense and defensive line. We got the best offensive line in the league. We got the best defensive line, most deepest defensive line in the league. We are on our track, for an epic season this year. You know what I'm saying? My little brother said, y'all excited about them Kelly Green unis? You damn right we excited, man. The only Kelly Green I got is Randall Cunningham jersey. So I need to get me a Jalen Hurts jersey, Kelly Green, A.J. Brown, Kelly Green jersey. So I'm excited about that one for sure. But, okay, I got another one for you, Mike. Which school players will have a bigger impact on 23 Eagles? The Alabama, mostly offense, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Landy Dickerson, Steen if he starts, or, the Georgia guys over there with Jordan Davis, Dean, Nolan Smith, Ringo, and I guess you can even throw in Agent Zero because he is from Georgia.
I mean, if you're putting Jalen Hurts on the Alabama side, which he was an Alabama guy, but he was drafted out of Oklahoma. If you put Jalen Hurts on Alabama, then I go Alabama because Jalen Hurts is the heart and soul of this team. And so we go as Jalen does. Can't forget Smitty as well. Like, look, I expect these Philly dogs to be legit, especially Agent Zero, who, we got from the Lions, but he was a Georgia Bulldog too. I want to see great things. I think we're going to see, but if you put in Jalen Hurts, the conversation's over because
right. But I'm not giving him to, what I'm saying? If he's there with Smitty and Landon and guys, he's gonna go with the Alabama squad. We ain't got nobody from OU like that to be.
You can say the Oklahoma school. You can say Rambo and Trey Sermon.
Rambo got to make the team first, man.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Rambo got to make the team. But yeah, definitely, because I don't even care if all those defensive players, turn out to be great. Like, if you don't got the quarterback, you ain't got nothing. Smitty's top 10 receiver in the game. Landon, first team All Pro. Did you see that on? I don't know if you've seen it, but did you see he is ranked number 1 and number 2 in run and pass there? Run blocking win rate, number 1, Landon Dickerson last year. Pass blocking win rate, number 2, Landon Dickerson for guards. You know what I'm saying? He's the best guard in football. He went to he was an all pro last year, his second year, man. How blessed are we to have him? Like we were expecting him to take over. And that's another thing with this whole Jurgensen, because I know we were talking about backstage about who's going to win that right guard spot. It's going to be Steen. It's going to be Jurgensen. Jurgensen, what happens if he goes in? Because he gained some weight. If he goes in, he wins this job, and he's an all pro. Now we still need another center moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what happened with Landon. We drafted Landon to replace Jason Kelce. And he went over there, Aside Mala got hurt. He went to right guard, and then he boomed over to left guard.
But
And
Dickerson was always heavy, though. Dickerson was always a big dude. Like, I don't think Jurgens is going to gain enough weight to stay there. Like, regardless if Jurgens is good there, he's going to be our center. Like, the dude has he's a Kelce clone in how he can get to the second level. And so I think maybe if Tyler Steen doesn't start, it's not that he's not good. It's because Jurgens a dog, and Tyler Steen needs a year to adapt. But I still wholeheartedly believe when Kelce leaves, whenever he does, because he just keeps he's aging with fine wine too. First team all pro Jason Kelce, right? Did you see that little clip with the laughing of the Mozzie Smith thing I put on Twitter?
Oh man, I see now, man. He said something about punching Kelce or something like that.
Yeah. Because when I read it, I recently watched that short from Jason Kelce. It's just a bunch of his laughter because they say his laugh is contagious. So when I read that, I said, let me just put this over. That would be hilarious. But I think Tyler Steen is going to be the right guard. I just don't know if he'll do it this year. But look, Jurgens,
he can even be if he don't, because people forget about our backups too. We got some really good backups. Like the last 2 years when starters went down, we didn't even skip a beat. You know what I'm saying?
Driscoll. I like Driscoll.
Driscoll's still here. Opeta's still here. We picked up Robinson. I think he is. We got some backups too that can still play some football. Like he don't have to do either one in terms of Steen. Like Steen was a tackle guard, right? And Jurgensen's the center guard. So Johnson got 2 more years left. He can end up being our right tackle in the future. Who knows? Just depending on which way he goes. But I think
deal. He signed a 3-year deal, Lane.
3 years. But I think Jurgens should win just for the simple fact that, he was on our team last year. He played last year and actually played pretty good when he was in a football game. And the fact that, he understands the pro game. He understands the offense already. He got a leg up on him. If Steen if he wins out, that means he's just a badass. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're coming from behind. Stoutland is an Alabama guy, so I'm not saying that the transition is not going to be that hard for him because the Alabama linemen, Stoutland already got a good connection with a lot of those guys over there too. But I'm just saying, like, if he can come out and actually beat Jurgens, I think they said he got bigger up to 310, and I think Sam Malo played at 312, and Sam Malo did great for us for those years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, Sam Malo was underrated. People used to say like the reason he got talked about was because he was the weakest link, because everybody else on our offensive line is Hall of Famers or all pros. But Sam Malu was a B+ offensive lineman. He's solid.
Yes, Sam Malu did some big things for us. I liked him. I don't, like you said, he was overshadowed by Lane Johnson, Kelce, Mailata, now Landon Dickerson.
Peters was here with him for a while. Brandon Brooks. Brandon Brooks is an all-pro.
Ooh, Brooks, yeah, man. Brooks was good.
So think about that. Look, like, here's the thing. You had Peters and Brooks, all-pro, Kelce, Lane, all-pro, Sam Malu. Okay, Brooks and Peters leave. Now you get Landon Dickerson and Jordan Mailata. More all-pros. You know what I mean? So Sam Malu's just been playing with a bunch of dogs out there.
Yeah, he got lucky. And like I said, it's iron sharpening iron. When you got all these good players on the team, it's just so hard to expect. Like, people don't even understand. Like, I think, who was it I was talking about the other day? And I was just like, man, he just made a decision. He's just like, I can come back here, where it's like everybody is so good. It goes back to Booby, when he was talking about, he feels like he's playing on an all-star team. Think about it, though. They're all all-stars, man. Like, everywhere you look, you got all-stars or young, up-and-coming players, coming in. All the veterans are all pros, and Pro Bowlers and whatnot. And the rest of these guys are just up and coming players that, are too young to get those accolades, but definitely in the right direction, moving forward to get them. So, man, this team is sky's the limit. I think they said that it was a Good Morning Football that had it out there. The Eagles and Niners number one in the top tier. Then you got Dallas, Vikings, Seattle, New York, second tier. Then you got the Lions, Rams, and Saints in the third tier. That's pretty accurate. You know what I'm saying, for the NFC. Like Niners, they don't even have a quarterback. I don't know how they get ranked so high all the time without a quarterback. Is Brock Purdy really that dude? Or, did we knock all the football out of Brock Purdy? He won't be able to do nothing next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause he was that dude till he played the Eagles. And then all of a sudden, all Niner Nation is crying about how they didn't have a quarterback that game. And they all got knocked out of the game. Those guys got up that morning. They put their shoes on. They put them pads on. They came and got hit by a real football team, and they didn't know what happened. So that's crazy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy was pretty good until he played the Eagles, and he only got to play us for a little bit. Kudos to Hassan Reddick, and now there's a new rule that you can keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster. So shout out to Hassan Reddick, changing the game.
Changing the game. That's what we do. We're game changers, right? We're game changers, man. I feel so confident about this team. Y'all know 17-0 till proven otherwise, And I think last year was a good year to even think about that. Think about the games we lost in the regular season. Well, we went 14-3. Jalen Hurts hurt 2 of those games, And both of those games we could have won if we didn't have Gardner Minshew as our quarterback. He was trash. Even the Dallas game where we scored all the points, he was still trash. He turned over the ball way too much. And then the one game in Washington, which I was I was passed out half the game from the 7-hour tailgate. But, at the end of the day,
yeah, you were
that was another good game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was another good game. That even at the end,
the part that you were awake for.
Yes, the part that I was awake for was a good game. Coming down the stretch, I was the whole fourth quarter. I was awake, guys. So don't worry about that. The fourth quarter was good, and I feel like we were a couple plays away from winning that game. It was like we beat ourselves in all 3 games. And that's happens in football. So the ideal of it all, 17-0, could have happened last year, and I think our teams this year is even better. We're younger, faster, stronger.
Schedule a little harder. Not hard. Listen, not hard to say. Not hard to say that that we're not good enough to win, but it is harder. Again, you play.
Is it harder, Mike? They give us this harder schedule just because of the simple fact we played Cowboys twice, we played Giants twice. They're both playoff teams. All
right, hold on.
So that gives us a different, like, if any other division had 3 playoff teams, they're gonna have a hard schedule.
True that. But listen to this. Besides the Cowboys, Giants, and Washington, who we played last year, we played this year. What were the best teams we played in the regular season last year?
The Cowboys, Giants, and Washington.
No.
We played last year
outside of division.
Did we play Niners? That wasn't last year, huh?
Nope.
No. Tampa?
We didn't play them in the regular season.
Yeah. Okay. Who did we play last year now?
Listen, we played the Colts, not that good. We played the Texans, not that good.
The Colts were supposed to be good.
Yeah. I listen.
The Lions we played, and they were pretty good last year. They were
they were decent. The Vikings were decent when we played because it was early in the season. But what I'm saying is, the top 3 teams that we played last year, whether they are decent or not, are not the Chiefs, Bills, Niners. They're not. You know what I mean? You're talking about Super Bowl, got the Super Bowl team, NFC Championship team, and the Bills, who are always top of the AFC. So what I'm saying, we got the Dolphins as well. Like, so what I'm saying is, I'm not scared by the
Green
schedule.
Bay, yeah,
but
play Aaron Rodgers.
He didn't make the playoffs.
He played Aaron Rodgers. Okay, he's a quarter
for 3 quarters, for 2.5 quarters. Look, I'm not saying the Eagles are.
My thing is, a lot of those teams from last year aren't as good as they were last year too.
The Bills are still going to be nice. The Chiefs are still going to be nice, and we're going to get the same Niners team because we played them without their quarterback, right? So you know what I mean? Like all I'm saying is though, what I'm trying to say is I'm not scared by our schedule, but the top 4 teams that we play this year outside of division are better than the top 4 teams we played last year. That's all. Listen, last
But at the
year,
end of the day, last year, Mike, how many games were you even worried about? Even the ones we lost, I don't think I was worried about. Like
I wasn't.
we blew out. We were like blowing out teams by the second quarter by halftime. You know, a lot of those games, those teams that made the score look a little bit closer happened after the second half when we kind of dialed it down a lot. So that's why I say we were that much better than everybody last year too. You know, yes, we lost the Super Bowl. Everybody wouldn't go, well, but you didn't win it. I get it. That's one game, one day. A lot of horrible things went wrong. Another situation where things weren't going in our direction for the game, but we got better too. So that's a wash in terms of the teams we play. I feel like those teams aren't that they weren't on our level last year, even though we didn't play them. You know, we played the Chiefs, in the Super Bowl, but like I said, the field was horrible. You know, there's a lot of things that go to JG. You know, not worried about the game, worried about his new hire. Like, there's a lot of things that you can look at it where it's like, I don't really feel like it's football, man. Any given Sunday, anybody can beat you.
No. And listen, let me make myself clear. I'm not scared of the schedule. I'm just acknowledging it's better than last year. My thing is this: if we played this schedule last year, I still think we'd be number 1 in the NFC. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if we played this schedule last year, we'd be number 1. If we play last year's this year, will be number 1. I'm just acknowledging that the teams we play are harder. That does not mean that we are worse. No, we're as good, if not better. So I'm not nervous. I wasn't nervous when we went against San Francisco in the NFC Championship before the quarterback got hurt. I was nervous because it's the Super Bowl, but I went into the Super Bowl believing we are going to beat the Chiefs, and we were the better team. We just made the more mistakes. We were the better team that made more mistakes. So clearly, I guess the team that don't make the mistakes are the better team, but we were the more productive team that day. We just made more mistakes. And so if we played the Bills last year, I would have said the Eagles are going to win. But do I feel more confident playing the Colts over the Bills? Yes. Do I feel more confident playing the Packers over the Chiefs? Yes. Do I feel more confident playing the Jags, who's a playoff team, over the Bills? Yes. So I think we could beat all of them, but I still you see what I'm saying? So I just want to acknowledge that I know the schedule's harder, but guess what? This is why Jalen Hurts is going to really, really, really open eyes, because the naysayers, the Cowboy fans, the Twitter sphere, NFL Twitter says he didn't even throw for 4K. He only threw for 22 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles played 509 snaps with a 10-point lead, most in the NFL.
Woo!
509 times Jalen Hurts hiked the ball. He had a double-digit lead in the regular season. So that means the coach and the game plan is changed when you have a 10-point lead from a 3-point lead, trailing by 7. So with this harder schedule, if we're not beating every team if we're not playing 500 snaps with a 10-point lead, the running will be a little less. The passing will be a little bit more. You won't have 3 games where Jalen Hurts sits out. Pittsburgh, Tennessee. The dude's not even playing in the end of the game. So that's stats he's losing there. So just on paper, Jalen Hurts is going to look way better on paper, and people are going to start opening their eyes, and Eagle fans are going to be like, we knew this. The thing was, we ran the ball a lot last year because we were beating the crap out of teams. We're still going to win games, but guess what? We might have to score 35 to beat the Chiefs, right? We might have to score 35 to beat the Bills. We might have to score 30 to beat other teams. We didn't have to do that all the time last year, even though we did score 30 a lot. All I'm saying is Jalen Hurts is going to put what we see on Sunday on paper, and he's going to get all the respect because he's going to throw for 4K. He's going to throw for 4K this season, and he's going to be closing in on 30 passing touchdowns. And it's not going to be like he just see the stat sheet watchers are going to say, what the heck, another huge jump. No, he's just now doing what the coaches is telling him to do. And it says, we got to keep our foot on the gas pedal in the fourth quarter. We got to keep our foot on the gas pedal. There's only 3 minutes left of the game, and we're still throwing Hail Marys. Where last year, it was Gardner Minshew in the game. Big difference.
Facts. And I get it, man. That being said, I've been fighting people all off season because they think what I say is blasphemy. But in your opinion, Mike, is Jalen Hurts the best quarterback in the league? Overall quarterback. I'm not just talking about passing the football. Because even though if you want to argue that stat, like you can look at a lot of stats Jalen better than Patty Mahomes in. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
I can't. I just
And I'm
can't
not saying
say it.
career, Mike. We're not going career either. We're going into 2023. Who's going to be the best quarterback in the league?
I can't say it. I can't say
Say
he's better
it,
than Patrick
Mike.
Mahomes. I can't. Listen, I love Jalen, and again, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen. Oh, they got the arm that can throw on a side angle. I'm taking Jalen over him right now. I'm taking Jalen over him. But Patrick Mahomes, the dude lives in the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship. Listen, Patrick Mahomes has never played a season where it didn't finish in the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl. Think about that.
Listen. Listen. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you think about this a little deeper. Okay. Who's Patrick Mahomes' coach?
Huh?
Who's Patrick Mahomes' coach? For one.
Oh, it's Andy Reid.
What if you rank Andy Reid in the history of coaches? He was an Eagle coach. Shout out to Big Red. He got the greatest coach in football. Period. So that's what you got first. The greatest coach in football drafted you for one, right? Who did
And
Jalen
sat
Hurts
you
have?
behind Alex Smith for a year.
Who did Jalen Hurts have to be with his first 2 years starting? A first year coach.
The
And I'm
only
not hating on
the
Nick. I
only
love
coach
Nick,
for the Eagles that
but
made the Super Bowl.
Nick is no Andy Reid, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Not yet. You gotta put some stripes on it. And 2 playoffs in a row, second year Super Bowl. That's great. That's probably something Andy Reid didn't even do his first 2 years.
So again, you can only Andy Reid is Andy Reid, but Nick Sirianni is his resume looks great as going into his third year with a playoff appearance and a Super Bowl appearance. That's pretty legit. So Nick Sirianni's early in his tenure. Jalen Hurts early in his tenure. We can't compare Nick Sirianni to Andy Reid.
You understand the comparison of the coaches I'm trying to make. Talking about guy, second year head coach in a Super Bowl versus the GOAT. We could have won that game too. That's good for him. But you're talking about Andy Reid, 5 NFC championships in a row before even seeing a Patrick Mahomes. Like Patrick Mahomes was still probably in high school or elementary school or wherever the hell he was at.
Do you know what the biggest play was that game? Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest throwers of the football. The best play was when he ran the ball for 30 yards on us.
Don't get me started about that. I don't know what they injected in that man's leg, but I don't know how you go from being crippled at halftime and coming back running at all. Period.
Yeah.
When he got hurt, I was like, it's a wrap. We really won the Super Bowl because Patty's not coming back. He's already been hurt, and he came back.
He was grimacing. He was grimacing on
Yeah.
that sideline.
Yeah. So whatever drugs they got in the NFL, good job to you for giving them to them. They shot that leg up.
And you're right. Like him dropping back in the pocket, throwing here, throwing there, that's cool. But when he scrambled for 20-something yards to put him in field goal position, that broke me. And that's listen. And nobody looks at Pat Mahomes as a scrambler. But guess what? His first Super Bowl he won, he had a huge scamper there too, like a 27-yard scamper. So the thing is, you start worrying about Pat Mahomes' arms and this, that, and the third, and he'll run the ball for 25, 30 yards on a play. Listen, Jalen Hurts.
That's another reason why I give it to Jalen. Because Jalen, you have to prepare more for Jalen Hurts than you have to do for Patty Mahomes. Like Patty Mahomes stuff, you can't really even prepare for. To be honest, let's talk about it. Those sidearm throws behind the
look throws.
You can't prepare for that. So that's magical in itself. And I give him up. And don't hate on me.
This is why
Mahomes is 1B for sure. But I'm just saying, Jalen Hurts, you have to prepare for both. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't ever have to throw 4,000 yards. He don't ever have to. He's more efficient with the football. He has less turnovers. You know what I'm saying? He has more explosive plays than Patty Mahomes. And then he can run the football too. And not just a running football like a Patty Mahomes. I just did a 30-yard scramble. If you need Jalen Hurts to run the ball 15 times that game and rush for over 100, 200 yards on your head, he can do it too.
I hear you. But you just used the word magic in Mahomes.
Jalen's magical.
I know. I understand that. But I'm just saying, though, look, there was a time where, all right, look, let's look at this. All right. And this is not the Hurts and Mahomes thing because they're not the same. But you know how they used to say, look, when Aaron Rodgers was in the league and Tom Brady was in the league, right? Tom Brady was the more decorated quarterback. He always had great stats. He got a bunch of Super Bowl rings. But when you look at just pure passer, right? They always like the people would always say that Aaron Rodgers is the best thrower of the football.
Facts.
And Tom Brady's the best quarterback. Right? Tom Brady's the best quarterback, but Aaron Rodgers is the best thrower.
I think Payne's the best overall.
Yeah.
Out of all three of them.
I know. I remember you having that Peyton Manning not episode, but you were talking about it and all that. All right. What I'm saying is, though, they look at Brady as he does what he does, right? But they always said Aaron Rodgers, when he won Super Bowl, a lot of flameouts, but now you're talking about a guy who's starting to get accolades like Tom Brady, and he got the thrower to football like Aaron Rodgers. All I'm saying is Patrick Mahomes is not human. He's not. He's just not. And look,
who are you more scared of if you're a defense coordinator? Who are you scared to guard? Take the coaches out. Take the teams out. Just look at the quarterback position. Who are you more scared to guard?
So wait.
That's what I'm saying. Keep it real. Keep it 100. Like, I'll be more scared to stop Jalen Hurts. You know, Jalen Hurts' his first year, maybe not. But after what he did last year and showed you he can throw the football, excuse me, how are you going to stop this guy? He's running, he's throwing. What are you going to do to stop it? If Patrick Mahomes, if you can get in Patty Mahomes' face, you know, he gets beat all the time by the Bengals. If you can get a Patty Mahomes' face and hit him in the mouth, you know what I'm saying? You hit him in the mouth. Look at the record. Jalen was 14-1 last year. How many losses did Patty have? It's about winning, right? It's about winning.
All right, but let me just say this though. You just simply said take the coaches and the team away. So we're playing one-on-one now. Listen, if we're playing one-on-one, then I pick Jalen because then you can't throw the ball to nobody, and Jalen is the better athlete. He's more athletic.
But even throwing, he had better numbers besides yards and touchdowns. He had better numbers in terms of he didn't listen. Andy Reid, we both know Andy Reid throws the ball 100 times a game. Period. He threw his way out of Philly. You know, just like Dougie P threw his way out of Philly. That's what they do. You know, you got a quarterback that's throwing the ball, right? Jalen don't have to throw the ball that many times because he has another option that they don't have. Patty might do his scrambling, his no-look stuff, and all this other stuff, but his main goal is to throw the ball. Jalen's like, I'm going to look at my first read, I'm going to look at my second read, and by then you guys will have it wide open. If I don't have to feel the pressure, I'm just going to take off. You know what I'm saying? Like
Jalen Hurts is listen. If a Bengal fan tries to say that Joe Burrow's better, I'll argue with him, but I'm not going to be like outlandish. But Jalen Hurts is top 2, top 3 for me. But I just can't simply say now if Jalen Hurts gets back to the Super Bowl, or not even that. If Jalen Hurts does what I think he's going to do, we'll have the conversation mid season. But I'm just saying Patrick Mahomes. Listen, what I'm saying is this.
I'm gonna tell you something
Mahomes
on this. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna answer that though. I'm gonna answer that for you right after Philly might go.
All I'm gonna say is this: Patrick Mahomes was created in a lab. All right, he's created in a lab.
Does Patrick Mahomes squat 600 pounds? Huh? Is he stacked like a brick house? Is he him? Is he got the swag of this guy's making new quotes up every day that you can copyright and make money off of because the dude is that genuine. You know what I'm saying? Patty Mahomes ain't doing that, my guy. Okay? Patty Mahomes ain't squatting those 600 pounds working out with the lineman. You can hit Patty Mahomes, rock him. Jalen hits you.
Patrick Mahomes, listen, let me just say this one more time. Patrick Mahomes has never played an NFL season that hasn't ended in a championship game or a Super Bowl.
How many times have Andy Reid never been in those games before Patrick Mahomes, though, is what I'm saying. Before Patrick Mahomes, Reid's always done that. That's what he does.
But listen, Patrick Mahomes.
So how is it because you add this quarterback? Think of the Donovan McNabb, 5 straight NFC championships in the Super Bowl. It's the same thing. It's the coaching.
Let me hold on. BG, you just said something. McNabb and Reid got there 4 times and 1 time and lost every time. When Mahomes gets Reid there, he finishes the job. Look.
Because Andy got better when he got fired from the Eagles. Okay? Everybody know that that's the reason why Andy started winning his championship. He got fired. It humbled him.
All right, so
he
let me ask you this.
He had to give up the play calling.
So let me ask you this.
That's when he gave up the play call, but he had a better control over his team. So like I said, it's just like Belichick, man. Like that when Tom Brady was doing all the magical stuff. Remember that year Tom Brady got hurt early in the season, and who was it? What's that boy name? Man, not Gerback. Who the hell was the backup? Matt Castle or one of those cats came in, and they went like 11-4. They threw for more yards than Tom Brady even threw for so far.
All right, so
it was like, okay, whoa, is Tom Brady really?
How's Belichick doing now? How's Belichick doing now?
Huh?
How's Belichick doing now without Brady?
Man, the team's washed. He don't got the players.
Listen,
he got the players he had back then. No,
hold on. Let me just say this. Let me just say this.
He got the players.
Look, all I'm going to say is this, right? Andy Reid is one of them coaches. I agree, but how come Andy Reid couldn't even win a playoff game with Alex Smith?
It's Alex Smith.
Number one, he was a first.
But we're not comparing Alex Smith to Jalen Hurts. We're talking about the best of the best right now. Alex Smith ain't never been the best of the best.
No. I'm taking it. Andy Reid is great, but Andy Reid started winning when he got with Mahomes. All I'm saying to you is this: Andy Reid could not
win when we had a shitty quarterback too. Before we, you know what I'm saying?
No. Listen, in football, it takes all 11 men on the field. It takes a coach. It takes a whole staff. It takes a lot of people, right? It takes your 53-man roster plus your OC, your DC, your special teams coordinator, all that. 100%. It takes your front office, right? It takes everything. It takes the fans to be there cheering. Like, it takes a lot, right? But what I'm saying to you is, if you're going to just big up Andy Reid, but not realize that he couldn't even win a playoff game with Alex Smith. And listen, Alex Smith is a mid quarterback, but Kyle Shanahan was winning playoff games with Jimmy G, right? So all I'm saying to you is that there's an argument for an argument for argument. Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC. He's top 2 or 3 in my book.
He's the best quarterback in the league, my guy. Did you not see my top 10? It was Jalen, Patty, Burrows. Okay?
I love it.
Jalen is the best quarterback. And like, I'm going to argue this to the day. I don't care how stupid y'all think I am, but I'm just like, come on, think about it though. If I'm a defensive coordinator and I got a game plan for you, like every defensive coordinator all year long was scrambling, trying to figure out how the hell we're going to stop him. And none of them stopped him. None of them. For real. None of them stopped Jalen. You can stop a Patty Mahomes if you do the right thing. You know, you can't stop a Jalen Hurts because he can. If you stop his passing game, yes, he does have AJ and Smitty, so it's hard to stop them two, period. But I'm just saying, like, with the weapons he has, I don't see any quarterback being able to do things he's done, man. Like, it's crazy. What would you do? Listen, I will tell you this. What would you do if we had Mahomes? I don't think we're winning. I don't think we win a Super Bowl, for real. To be honest, we wouldn't be as much of a balanced team. That's why I think Jalen gets the edge, because with Jalen, we can be 100% balanced. You know what I'm saying? The running game is just as impactful as the passing game. If we had Mahomes, we're going to be launching that football all the time. And it's going to make it, 60, 70 to 30, 40% in terms of pass heavy, because you got a guy with talented arm. And I'm not saying
it still depends on the play caller.
4,000 yards, but the running game is what we need. That's what wears down defenses. That's what, takes time off the clock. That is the balance in our football team that I think that we have that no team really has. And that's why we're the best team in the league.
Look, somebody in the chat says something like this too. Jalen Hurts is a lot younger than Pat Mahomes, right? Let's just see how things triculate, right? All I'm saying is Jalen Hurts had a terrific season. So did Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' resume and stats show who he is. Before we start talking about comparisons, I just went on and on and on about how the people on Twitter who look at Jalen Hurts' stats are going to be amazed at the stats in 2023 because of the aggressive nature that the Eagles are going to play against some of these so-called better, harder scheduled teams, blah, blah, blah. All that being said, Jalen Hurts has the opportunity to get better this year and better and better and better. And so there's going to be a conversation who's the best quarterback in the league. Right now, all I'm saying is, let me just tell you this, right? Going into this season, I had Jalen Hurts. I believed in the potential. We've talked in the offseason prior to this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believed in Hurts.
Yeah.
I said I totally did. But when I did my quarterback rankings, I had Hurts like at 15 or 16 or 17 going into this season because you have to think about potential, but you also got to grade.
Oh,
You got to grade.
you talking about last year? Or you talking about going
coming
into
in,
this year?
coming in.
Yeah, and I didn't. I said he was going to be the dog, and he was the dog. I'm not scared to put it out there and say he's the best right now, because next year you will find out when we win that Super Bowl, when he is MVP, when he is first team All Pro, because we know Patty's ceiling. We can't even imagine. I can't even really imagine Jalen getting better than what he was last year. What is next in that? What is that next step Jalen talking about that everybody talking about? I want to see Jalen get to that next step. What step? What? What did he not do last year? Low interceptions, high efficiency plays, ran the football, had double-digit touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like touchdowns passing. It's like he was a leader. Everything you want in a quarterback, he did last year. In the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, outplayed Patty Mahomes. Our defense gave up that Super Bowl. Outplayed Patty Mahomes, had huge numbers in the Super Bowl. So I'm like, what is the next step for real, for real? But we know he can get there because he's so young and he's going to get better.
And when he again, I can't say he's better than Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say it. I love Jalen Hurts.
Don't be scared. Say it.
It's not about skirt. It's about
Patrick is true great, to my word. Man. And what's wrong with being 1B?
He's a dog.
Jalen Hurts. If you think about it, all your top 10 quarterbacks got an argument. For real. They all got an argument because they all have their special gifts, right? The only thing different is Jalen has 2 special gifts. He got 3 special gifts, and the other guys only got 1 or 2.
Triple threat. Jalen Hurts is a triple threat. No
and
doubt
that's
about
the difference. And that's the leverage that I use to say that Jalen's better, because he got 3 special powers. If you're a superhero, you only got 1 special power or 2 special power, but this guy got 3 special. Yeah,
but
powers. No other like Jalen Hurts rushing. A year and a half of Jalen Hurts running the football is more than all of Patty's whole career, his whole 9-year career. You add up all those yards, you add up all those touchdowns. Jalen smoked it with 1 year of football, 1 year, maybe 4 games.
There's only one quarterback I'm taking over Jalen Hurts so far, and that's Patrick Mahomes. It could change by midseason. It could change by the end of the season. But again, Jalen Hurts being considered the number 2 quarterback in my book, I think that's high, because I guarantee you there's so many outlets that could look at. A lot of people are putting him 7th best quarterback, 8th best quarterback, 5th best quarterback. And so this is what I say to people to keep it realistic, right? If a Bengal fan argues Joe Burrow, well, guess what? Joe Burrow's resume is 2 AFC appearances and a Super Bowl appearance, and he can sling the rock, and he's Joe Cool, got the swag. He could do all that. He doesn't run like Hurts, but he has some nice scrambling ability for a guy. He's underrated in that department, right? He doesn't use it often, but he can. He's not Jalen Hurts in that, though. All that being said, if a Bengal guy's arguing with me, I might argue back a little bit, but I'll be okay. But I'm not hearing the Josh Allen. I'm not hearing the Joe Burrow. Joe Herbert. I'm not hearing the Trevor Lawrence. I'm not hearing none of that stuff. And so anybody who says Jalen Hurts is outside of top 5, I stop listening. But if somebody rates Jalen Hurts 4, I'll listen a little. 3, I'll listen. But anytime somebody says outside the top 5, I automatically shut my listening. I don't listen.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are still doing that. I got him at 2.
Hey, like I said, that's an argument. Like, my argument isn't as like slight Patty Mahomes at all. I love Patty Mahomes. Maybe, but you know what I'm saying? That one superpower that Jalen has, that's what I just think of it as a football player myself. Like, if you can do 2 things, elite, and this guy can do one thing elite and good at the other, I'm pretty sure the guy that do things too elite is way better than the guy that does.
Well, let me just say this. There's not a word that describes what Pat Mahomes does throwing the football. As you said, the sidearm, the no look, the falling to the ground. That there got to be a new word created for how he throws the ball. You know what I mean?
I just think the league's too scared. People are too scared to say Jalen's number 1, because I think they're still confused on him. They're like, well, he's supposed to be this running guy. He wasn't a first high draft pick. I'm not sure. Like, show me a little bit more so I can believe. I'm just telling you, he's that dog. You see the off the field mentality that he got. No, I don't even think Patty got as much swag as Jalen. For real, for real. Like, like Patty's cool, but he ain't Hurts, man. Hurts is another breed, rare breed, one of one. Like, there's never gonna be another Jalen Hurts.
There's never gonna be another Patrick Mahomes either.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is Aaron Rodgers 2.0.
He already doubled him in Super Bowls.
But I'm saying in Super Bowl, but he ain't got the MVPs on Aaron.
He got 2.
Aaron got like 3 or 4.
Aaron got like 3, maybe
4. I think we looked it up last show, and it was like 4. It's 3 or 4, but it's like that's one thing you can guarantee Aaron Rodgers to do is win a MVP. Like that ain't the hard thing.
First of all, Mahomes playing for another 8 years. You don't think he's gonna get 2 of them things? Listen, I will say this, and I love and I respect Pat Mahomes for saying this. As soon as the Super Bowl was over, all right. So Pat needs 2 more.
But that's what I'm saying too. Patty's been starting for how many years now? 6.
He's
6
going
years
into 6 years, maybe 5 or 6.
I think it's that. Like 6 years. I think it was. Jalen's only started for 2. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. Look. Let me just say it this way. After Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl, he straight up said that he knows he's going to see Jalen Hurts again in another Super Bowl. And that will be a rematch. Whether it's the rematch of 2023 to 2024 season, we're going to be there. So as long as KC gets to the big dance, we can have the rematch early. But you will see Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes a couple more times. Couple more times. Not one more time, a couple. Because if Jalen Hurts plays a 10-year career and Patrick Mahomes play another 7-8 year career, you're going to see them at least a couple more times.
And to get off the Eagles Chiefs thing, I'm gonna end it with Jalen's the best, Pat's number 2 for 1, and the Eagles are better than the Chiefs. Are you ready to see the Eagles finally beat?
The Eagles are the better.
Are you ready to see the Eagles finally beat the Chiefs? Because that's one thing I am pissed off about still. We play them in a season. We have not beat the Chiefs since Big Red left.
I actually here's my thing. If we beat the Chiefs, look, I ain't mad at the game. But I think the way our schedule is, correct me if I'm wrong, that's a part of that big stretch and whatnot. Like if I want to win every single game, no ifs, ands, or buts, right? Obviously. But if our schedule looks really good or our record looks really good going into that, it's not going to be the end of the world if we lose to the Chiefs in the regular season, to me.
What?
Because I think
I'm kind of losing them.
I mean, yes.
Super Bowl season. It doesn't matter. Rich just beating us in Philly.
He beat us with Alex Smith too.
It doesn't matter where we play.
He beat us with Alex Smith too.
Come on, man.
Look, I'm mad every time the Eagles lose. But listen, when you're coming off a Super Bowl loss, to me, every game matters in the NFL because the season's condensed for sure. But man, the players can't think.
Won a Super Bowl for us and we beat him already.
Yeah.
Like we beat him already. And he won a Super Bowl for us. He was the first person to win a Super Bowl for us. But we beat him already. Reed took us to 5 NFC championships in a Super Bowl, and we still have not beat this man.
I know. I think we could beat the Chiefs in the regular season, but listen, if we do beat the Chiefs in the regular season, and then we end up playing them in the Super Bowl, I mean, I
feel like we should have won.
I feel
like that game was ours at halftime.
Let me just say this real quick, BG. I've rewatched it a bunch of times, especially the mic'd up version. Mm-hmm. Every time I watch it, my emotions make me think there's still a chance to win. The way the flow's going of the game, the way the attitude is on the sideline for the Chiefs, the way the attitude on the sideline is for the Eagles, my brain doesn't register that the game is already played and it's set in stone. I start getting hyped watching the highlights like we have a chance because it looks like that the whole way.
Right?
And then we lose.
And then Big Red's like, got you again.
Oh, Lord.
Red, we're coming for you this year, and we're going to beat you. I promise you that. Whether it's Super Bowl, if you beat us in regular season, we're going to beat you in the Super Bowl if you make it. But I feel like we that's another thing, too. I think we're gonna have way more opportunities to be there just because we're the most dominant team in the NFC. Period. Like y'all gotta hope to get there. Y'all gotta hope. Burrows and those boys be beating y'all all the time.
Yeah, they got to go
You know
through
what I'm saying?
Burrow,
You gotta
Allen.
go through
I think
Allen.
Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are going to be
Lamar gonna be
nicer.
5 this year. What is your team? You know who I think will be the most underrated team? I think this year you're gonna have to watch out for is the Jets, man.
The
Now they got a
Jets, yeah,
quarterback because
yeah.
they didn't have no quarterback for a bunch of years with good team with
The
no quarterback, and
AFC's
now
long.
they got one of the best quarterbacks ever in Aaron Rodgers. And man, I think that's the team that people should be looking out for. Like
Look, let
that
me
game
just
right there is a game that I might be like, oh, let's see what's going on here because that's all they needed. They got a lot of young, talented players on that football team, man.
so let me ask you. Say the Eagles do get to the Super Bowl, right? I know that's a far away, but
Man, we go. No, Mike. On this show, when the Eagles get to the
all
Super
right.
Bowl, is how
When
you
we get to
start
the
the
Super
question.
Bowl, right?
We going.
Would you rather play the Chiefs or would you rather play another AFC team? You don't got to pick an AFC team. Just let me ask you: would you rather rematch it back to back or have a different AFC team? You don't got to say which AFC
You want
team.
to be honest about it? If we beat the Chiefs in a regular season, another AFC team.
Yeah, because it's hard to beat a team twice.
Another AFC team. Give me the. You know why? Give me like Burrows or give me Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. If we beat the Chiefs, if we don't beat the Chiefs, then hell yeah, I want the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But
Yeah,
if
because
we
like,
beat the Chiefs, I
look,
want it to be over. I don't. The percentages aren't lined up in our favor. You know what I'm saying? Like we lose to the Chiefs all the time because of Big Red. So if we beat them in the regular season, I don't care to see them again the rest of the year. You know,
I hear you. I hear you.
leave it right
And
there.
and
We beat the Chiefs.
here's the
Let's go.
thing, like Josh Allen is a good quarterback. Joe Burrow is a good quarterback, right? But I feel like there's a different thing when Pat Mahomes has the ball and it's late in the game. I'm nervous. But if Josh Allen or Joe Burrow, they're great quarterbacks, but they make that mistake. They make that key
Yes,
mistake.
yes.
And so, yeah, I would take any. I mean, I'm not. I low
I'm
key
not
want
scared of them, but
me either. But
if we beat them
I would
already, I
rather.
don't need to play them again that year. Now, if you want to put them on the card next year, that's cool. The year after that, whatever. But for that year, if we beat them in the regular season, I don't care to see them. I want to be rooting against them the rest of the year, straight up. Because I'm like, we got our win. We can feel happy about finally beating the Chiefs. We finally beat Big Red. It's over. You know, if I see you, I see you in a championship. But if not, that's cool too.
Yeah, that would be my mindset 100%.
But
Because that's all they'll be
let's talk
talking
about some of
about.
these positional battles, Mike, real fast. So we already talked about the right guard spot, right? I think we both agree that. Well, I agree that I think that Jurgen's gonna get it, and I think he deserves it. You know, and Steen, not saying next year it could be your shine. You know, let's talk about like the safety and the linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard you talk about it earlier. You know, Nolan Smith, they're seeing him drop back. You know, they even had that. They were saying how in coverage in 707, like he was like neck and neck with Goddard, was punching the ball out, trying to get that ball out. If we ran like a 4-3 type scheme setup, you know, he could be that outside linebacker on the other side. So, how do you think this linebacker situation is gonna fare out?
Well, I think that the linebacker 2 is an open door for these 3 players. I don't think Nicholas Morrow is automatically linebacker 2. I think
Mhm.
that Davion Taylor, Christian Ellis, and Nicholas Morrow are all going to get a fair shot at trying out for linebacker 2. I think that if you see Nolan Smith dropping back, he's the third guy, utilizing his speed and zone, just uh, making it a statement to get him on the field and say when he's not rushing, we keep him on the field and let him drop back and do that in the third. But I do think, look, I thought I had high hopes of Davion Taylor for sure. We got his linebacking coach in the building, right? But I just starting to have this feeling that Christian Ellis, man, I think we've seen this story before. I'm not
He's from
saying he's,
USC, right?
huh?
Is that Ellis from USC? He did
Not
USC or
sure.
Bama, I think. One or two.
Let me see. All I know is that Christian Ellis, undrafted player, sat behind for a year or two, has that same similar story to
TJ.
story to TJ Edwards. I'm not saying he's TJ Edwards, but a similar story. Where did he go to college?
That was another big one we talked to. How did you feel about TJ Edwards?
Idaho.
Idaho. So that's not the same Ellis. Okay, cool. Idaho. Because me and Tone had this argument, and he was like, TJ, you got to put respect on TJ's name, basically. And I'm like, I didn't think TJ was that good.
I mean, listen, TJ had his
Like,
best year.
we haven't had no star linebackers since like forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't had it. You know, like, did he do the job? To me, TJ just as good as Singleton was for our football team. Stuart Bradley. Like, those aren't star linebackers. Those are just, they did their job.
Yeah, but I think TJ was a step up than just doing your job. I think TJ's grown a lot over his time, but there was a time where TJ was sitting behind Nathan Gary and Alex Singleton and couldn't beat them out, right? Maybe the coaching staff was overlooking him or whatnot, but there was a time where he was sitting behind them two people. That being said, Christian Ellis has done everything we can ask for him to do on special teams. He's coming in with the right mindset. I think every linebacker on the Eagles should be salivating at this moment. There's only one lock, Nakobe Dean with the mic. Cool. It's a revolving door for number 2 and 3. Now, number 3 is not going to play much because of the way we play. We're not going to play a lot of 4-3. We're not going to beat our base package. Even if we play 4-3, it won't be 4-3 base. It'd be a lot of nickel, dime, stuff of that sort. So the third linebacker is not going to be on the field that much. I think you're going to see more of the third safety on the field than the third linebacker. But that number 2 spot is wide open for Taylor, Morrow, and Christian Ellis. I just think that Christian Ellis is having that TJ Edwards type feel to it. We've seen him sit behind people, do what was asked, and now he's finally getting his chance, and he might be good again. Sometimes when you are playing with the practice squad or when you're playing with the second string, you can't showcase what you got in practice all the time because you don't got the right eyes on you, and you can't just go up to him as a grown man and say, "Hey, coach, watch me." You know what I mean? Like, no, like you need to just put your head down and do your work. And if you get picked to go in, if you get scouted, if you get seen, spotted, you can't just go up and be like, "Hey, coach, can I play with the first string today?" No, like you got to wait your turn and or just show what you got to do. And that's why undrafted players sometimes, think about it. Jason Peters undrafted, right? Quentin Michael undrafted. Anthony Harris was undrafted. He played great for the Vikings before playing okay with us for a little bit. Marcus Epps undrafted. TJ Edwards undrafted. So Reed Blankenship undrafted.
With the TJ thing, I would have to see what he does this year. Because you remember when we picked up, what's that dude name? We just same year we picked him up from Vikings.
Oh, Eric Wilson?
Wilson. Kendricks and Barr went out. Winston and racked up the tackles. He did his thing, and everybody's like, he's so good. We picked him up. I'm like, oh, wow, we might have a guy here. And he got cut, man. I'm just saying, like, in a defense this talented, was he really that good? You know what I'm saying? I feel like Eagles fans always trying to make all right players into star players. From TJ, remember Ward, the receiver? Remember when Ward had that year? Everybody's like, Ward's like the best receiver on our team, and he's just this guy that we can't get rid of. He was like, Ward was trash, man. Straight up. Like, Fulcum, trash. And he had a good couple games. It's like, yeah, they made some plays, but these aren't star players. These aren't impact players. We haven't had impact linebackers. Now, I do believe Dean will be one. What do you think is Dean's ceiling?
Like what, player wise, or just
do you think he's gonna be a star linebacker, or do you think TJ Edwards, good linebacker, makes him?
I think that Kobe Dean is gonna be one of the best linebackers we had in a while. I think he's gonna be the leader of that defense. There's going to be a little bit of growing pains this year, but the growing pains are going to be overshadowed by highlight reel plays, right? So I do think, don't get all crazy the first time he misses a tackle or gets beat for a 15-yard catch. We will be satisfied with the season of Nakobe Dean. And again, red shirt, a little undersized, but he's just he's so knowledgeable of the game of football. He's going to get the guys in the right spot. He's going to do all the extra study, and he's going to be able to hit the gaps that are made by guys like Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Playing behind his D line is like Nakobe Dean couldn't ask for a better situation. What I'm saying, with the secondary he has when he is playing zone, the D line that's going to create stuff, because one of Nakobe Dean's biggest knocks was when he has to hit the block first, he can't shed as good because of the stature and body type. But when you don't have to shed because you're just see hole, hit hole, right? Know your responsibility. Because of this D line, he's going to thrive. He's going to thrive.
Pro Bowl.
They only take Pro Bowl. They only do like 2 linebackers, right? They only do like 2 linebackers or 3.
All Pro, they only do 2 linebackers. I think Pro Bowl you got like at least 4. Nowadays, the Pro Bowl seems like they have like 20.
Well, yeah, because
it's
like
could
Pro
be
Bowl
playing
alternates.
going, and they got alternates up to yin yang.
All I'm saying is,
you think he can be at least a Pro Bowl alternate this year? That good? Because I want to see. Do you think this is an elite linebacker or not? Basically, what I'm saying.
I think year 1 in Nakobe Dean is gonna overshadow last year's TJ Edwards. And if I get year 1 Nakobe Dean better than TJ Edwards, he's on the right path, because TJ Edwards was in the league 4 years before he played that type of season. So if you give me better production, and I'm not just saying tackles, I'm not gonna be like, oh, TJ had more tackles. I'm talking about production. I'm talking about watching what he does on the film, pass breakups. I think he's gonna be utilized in some blitz packages. Overall, better season, more than I can ask for.
Pro Bowl alternate.
Pro Bowl alternate. There you go.
Is that what we're going with?
See the Pro Bowl alternate.
I'm saying Nakobe Dean's gonna be a goddamn All Pro this year.
All Pro. Second team.
Listen. Look at the way everybody that was good, right? Their game went to the next level on our team. It's a team thing, and that's why on this team,
is Jordan Davis going to be an All Pro?
Jordan Davis is going to be I told you he's about to change the game at DT.
All right, hold on. So how many All Pros we gonna have?
We're gonna have like 12 next year, for real.
There's not even 12 positions.
Like 12. 12. I'm talking about offense and defense.
All right.
12 pro. We're gonna have some 12 All Pro first teams. Maybe like 3 All Pro second.
How many we have last year?
9.
Jalen, Kelsey, Lane, AJ, and Bradbury. 5.
5 or 6. I remember somewhere.
And a lot of them, it was what? Jason and Lane were first team, right?
And
then
Landon was All Pro last year.
Who?
Landon Dickerson.
He was? Yeah. Second team, right?
Second team.
So it's 6. We had 6 then.
That's a 6. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, 6. And I can see all those guys being it again this year.
And then you're adding a Kobe Dean, Jordan Davis.
You know who else? Sleeper All Pro guy. No one's talking about? Agent Zero.
All Pro running back?
Agent Zero, All Pro running back. Listen, I went back and watched a lot of Eagles games from last year. And Miles Sanders had a lot of holes, man. I mean, like a lot of stuff that were, if it wasn't Miles, if it was another running back league, probably would have did the same. Probably would have did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I love Booby. I'm mad that he's gone. I wish we would have paid him. But I am saying that a lot of them holes were pretty damn big. Like, we got the best offensive line in football.
So you don't think Rashad Penny's gonna have any type of role?
He's gonna do his thing. Like, I feel like he's gonna
be an All Pro runner. Well, because look, Miles
like Booby last year, right? Gangwell, everybody's clamoring for him to be a starter this year because of what he did last year.
Who was the All Pro running backs last year? Because listen, Miles Sanders had 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns, and he wasn't an All Pro. So that's a tall task.
He was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. Pro Bowl and All Pro, totally different things.
All Pro last year. Wasn't it Jacobs?
I think Jacobs was one, and then
who was the other good running back last year that led the league? Like, I feel like Henry is the best running back, period. I don't think he was All Pro last year.
Nah, he was nicked up last year a little bit.
Who was the other run? If you guys know in the chat, let us know.
Yeah, chat, let us know who 2 All Pro running backs
All Pro last year for running backs. I'm just saying, because he's bringing a whole nother style. Like, I think he just added a whole nother weapon. You know what I'm saying? Agent Zero. is about to ball out this year and have a better year than he ever did. And when I found out he was from Philly, like, did you see his high school recruit video?
Yeah.
That was amazing. I was like, wow, he was that famous, and like he already had all these people like back in the day, and he went to the Lions. And now, what that impact's gonna be like from here back in Philly again as a
Hometown.
play some football. I really
And
think
to credit what you just said, well, to piggyback off what you said, Hassan Reddick was good with the Cardinals and good with the Carolina Panthers, but when he came home, he had an all-pro type season. So, I mean, let that speak for itself.
He was good on Pittsburgh. He was good with us first year, but our team got better, and he went to double-digit sacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody gets better. Bradbury was good, good on the Giants. He had one bad year before us, but he's like all-pro with the Eagles. Like, we have so many good players that everybody feeds off of each other on both sides of the ball. Usually a football team will have it one side of the ball or the other. Your offense got so many good players that they're feeding off each other, but the defense is still like, you're picking up or whatever. But we have both on both sides of the ball, so many good players that they all feed off each other because you cannot just stop one of them. So I feel like that's why all of our players get such high numbers. We're the first team ever to have 5 double-digit sack guys ever. Like, ever. That don't happen, It's because the talent, man. Pro Bowler in all pro corners.
4. Wait, was it? It was 4 or 4?
It's 4 in the season, but if you add postseason, it was 5.
Who was the 5th?
I want to say it was didn't Fletch get sacks in the playoffs?
He did, but he only got maybe up to like 9 because he had 7 in the regular.
I thought he got 10. I think that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but still, no team has ever had 4 double-digit pass rushers in the season.
Yeah, ever.
So, yeah,
and that's because you got the team together.
CJ Gardner-Johnson said it. Right after the Saints game, they were asking him, what do you credit your amazing season to? And he said, he tooted his own horn a little bit, and rightfully so. But he said, when you're playing in a defense as good, as talented as this, it makes your job so much easier. So he did simply say what we've been saying, and I've been using that for guys like Terrell Edmonds and Nick N'Kobe Dean coming in and this and the third. When you have
Nick
guys
Chubb.
who make your job easier, it's legit. And there you go, Nick Chubb. So, I mean, it's a tall task.
What about the safety, Mike? Who you got? Who's starting in your opinion? I love what Reed Blankenship did, but now, like you just talked about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I was like, how good was Chauncey last year for real? When you got 2 Pro Bowl cornerbacks, and when Maddox plays, and when Maddox played last year, he was lights out. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end, he got hurt, I understand, but you have like the best secondary, the best defensive line, and your safety. Blankenship came in and looked just as good. We won how many games without him? How many games we won without him? Like 4 or 5 games without him? Where Blankenship did his job. It's like it's so much easier to do that job when you got all this talent around you. So who do you think is gonna start there? I know Edmonds. I think Edmonds and Blankenship probably gonna start off.
Yeah, I think if Sidney Brown beats anybody out, it's gonna be Blankenship a little bit. But I do think Terrell Edmonds is gonna get the first knock. Now if he just don't look the same as he did in Pittsburgh early in the training camp process, then maybe he gets beat out. Sidney Brown is going to
been good, right?
Huh?
Like, he ain't been like superstar good, but he's been good.
No, Edmonds has been solid. Yeah, good. And I think you're talking about a guy who played in his first couple years in Pittsburgh were super solid, like B plus. Last year was one of his worst years. His responsibility changed. And that pass rush in Pittsburgh wasn't the same. So, it is what it is. I think that Brown is going to push somebody out, but I think early on you're going to see Reed and Terrell Edmonds. But the Eagles play a lot of big nickel. They do a lot of 3 safety looks. So they all going to get burned.
Do you think Blankenship's going to let them do it? Like, how good do you think even Blank is? I don't even know how good he is. I'm still confused about it.
I mean,
after that NFC Championship game where he hit stick Debo, I'm all aboard. You know what I'm saying? He hit stick fumble and recovered Debo Samuels. I'm like, all right, he bland. But a lot of people underestimate him, stereotype, white guy. No offense to nobody, but you know what I'm saying. Like he's out there balling. Like he balled out last year for real, for real. And I think he might not give it up. He's not no what's that dude named Wallace on our team? He no Wallace out there. He actually played and he actually did good and he actually, we were looking for him to take a down step, but I think he got better as the season went on the more he played. So it's like, I don't know. I want Sidney Brown to play. He got that Dawkins vibe to him to me, but will he be able to beat out a guy like Edmonds or even a second year player like Blankenship?
It's going to be tough because, like I said, I think that, and that's why I love the question. I love the battle that's going to be happening at safety position. I think that all three are going to get burned. So shout out to that. But
all three gonna get burned.
No, I do think they're all going to get burned. And there goes my green screen. I think they're all going to get burned for sure. But I agree with you. I think Edmonds and Blankenship are the starters early on. And we'll see. If all I'm saying is, look, Edmonds is only 26 years old. So if he does not lose his job, say he comes in, gets the job, and he shows out, like there could be a 3-year deal in the making soon for him because he's only 26. So you got 26-year-old Terrell Edmonds, you got super young Sidney Brown, and super young Reed Blankenship. So I think the safety position is in good hands. Whoever starts, I'm not going to tell you when I think Sidney Brown gets more burn and or starts, but that is a really, really tough race. I think that's going to happen not early on, but before the game start getting. Every game is valuable in the NFL. Like I said, it's a condensed schedule, but when you start feeling out your team in that late October, mid-November-ish, around right before Thanksgiving, where teams know who they are, Brown might be a big part of the team. We're going to see. I love it.
What about your second tight end?
Safety?
What about your second tight end?
I think Darnold's going to get that. I like the playmaking ability of Grant Casatera. I just think that is inconsistent. I think you brought Darnold in to be that premier vet behind Dallas Goedert. Now, I will think the Eagles will use Jack Stahl in some 12-man personnel for blocking purposes. But overall, second tight end, I think Dan Arnold is going to lock that up.
What about Tyree Jackson?
This man's been injured every year, dog.
But we keep keeping him.
Correct.
Why? Like,
because
they got faith in the guy. Broke his back, ACL, MCL, freaking everything, and we still keep bringing this guy back like he gonna do something.
Yeah, a hope and a prayer for Tyree Jackson, but I think it's Darren Arnold.
Yeah, I think Arnold. You don't bring a guy like that with his kind of pedigree, and he doesn't just come in and be your number two for sure, for sure. Calcaterra, who knows what he did this offseason? I don't know what he did this offseason. If he got better this offseason, he can probably push for that number 2 spot. But I do think you don't bring Arnold. He started for the Jags. He did. He got his play time in, and he done his. He did a good job over there. So I think he's definitely our number 2. Before I get you out of here, we're gonna go through CBS's top 100, man. And I want you to let me know if these guys are ranked higher, lower. Should it be ranked lower? Should it be ranked higher? Or perfect where they're at. Our highest guy, obviously, is our boy Lane Johnson at number 18 in the top 100. The best. They say the best right tackle. I think he's really the best tackle in the game. Like, I don't put a side to it. I think he's the best tackle in the game. But how you feel about Lane?
Lane was a first-team All-Pro. What is that? There's 22 first-team All-Pros, so 18 makes him one of them first All-Pros. I'm not mad at him there. I think you could bump him up a little bit, but I'm not that mad at him there at 18. He's still in the top 22 All-Pro.
Where would you put him if you had to rank it? Non-Eagle biasism.
I would have had him inside 15, maybe.
15 top players in the NFL. I like it. Let's go with my boy number 31. Jaylen.
That is a bad one. I would have Jalen Hurts inside the top 5.
Facts. CBS, get it right next time. He is definitely top 5. Got him
I
at number
also
30.
think that
And I love
quarterback
31. That's my number. I love it. But he should
Yeah.
not be 31 when in any kind of rankings or any kind of list.
See, look, and I'm biased. I'm biased to quarterbacks having like the hardest job. Like I understand O-line, D-line, and just being really, really good that season at a certain position, running back or this, that, and the third, wide receiver. I'm biased to quarterbacks being the hardest job. And so Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback. No ifs, and or buts. I'm biased to quarterbacks. He to me, he has to be in the top 5 of the top 100.
Next on the list, 47.
See,
AJ
you know what I wish we had. I wish we knew how many wide receivers were in front of him, like how many tackles were in front of Lane. Because like if Lane is the first tackle at 18, then I can't be that mad because then I have to put him. I gotta say he's better at tackle than this guy is at
Hold on.
defensive end. You know what I mean? So that being said, it's hard, but AJ Brown 47th, top 50 player. I'd move him up a little bit. I would have AJ Brown probably in the late 30s.
Okay, so we said Lane Johnson. Was there any tackles? What was Lane Johnson again? 18?
Yeah. Why you have the whole list?
Yeah, I got the list right here. Trent Williams, 10. Yeah, that's it. So Lane only has Trent Williams. So he's a second.
All right, so it ain't bad, but yeah, I probably would have moved Lane to 15, so that's cool. I know Jalen Hurts got 7 quarterbacks because I asked that question. I did this in my video today, and I asked the question. They said there were 7 quarterbacks in front of Jalen Hurts. That's why.
Patty, number 1. Josh, number 2. Burrows, number 3. We're going down the list here.
Herbert and Trevor's going to be before 31.
Herbert, Trevor. Yeah. So there's 5. Aaron Rodgers, 6.
Yeah, so Jalen Hurts is the 7th quarterback.
Yeah, he's a 7th quarterback on that list.
Jalen Hurts is in the top 5. That's the
trash.
Most, yeah.
How the hell do you even got the last 3? I just said Trevor Lawrence, really? Justin Herbert?
That's disgusting.
And even Aaron Rodgers at his old age. I'm not even putting Aaron ahead of Jalen. Like, that's trash. It's those other guys. But to have Patty, Burrows, and Allen 1, 2, and 3, how do you not have Jalen 4?
Yeah, right.
That's even if you did it that way, how do you not? How's he that far down the list?
Yeah, and that's showing the quarterback bias, and then they just forget the rest of the quarterbacks.
That's a skewed list here. How many receivers are ahead of AJ? Actually, that was another one I want to see.
Yeah, it's gonna get hard once you get to the farther ones. So,
like, I don't think there's that many. Should be that many receivers ahead of AJ Brown, man. Like, what the heck?
But no, I think even without knowing that, I think AJ should be late 30s. So I would only move him up a little bit.
Jordan Mailata at 60.
Jordan Mailata. Wait. What? Oh, we forgot Kelsey at 42. I think.
Oh, did I mix it? Oh. Oh yeah, I didn't say. It didn't upload for some reason. So Kelsey at 42. We're gonna say that.
Move him up. Kelsey is one of them first team All Pros. You know what I mean?
So Kelsey has to be in the top 22.
Well, yes and no. As I said that, I'm also thinking that he's the best center in the game, but maybe somebody
they got
else.
Humphrey, I think, ahead of him. The only center ahead of him.
Yeah. So Jason Kelsey got to be in the top 25. Players.
Easily. Yeah, 42 is way too low.
Way too low. 60 for Mailata.
He's a rugby player that we turned to a diamond in the rough.
I mean, the 60 ain't the worst. Give or take a little bit up. I wouldn't have him under 50. 60 is not bad. I wouldn't have him maybe mid 50s at the most. I could move him up.
Yeah, because he kind of had a down season last year.
Well, it's not even. Yeah, it's not even that. Like, remember, we're talking about all the positions, and there's a lot of dogs in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
other position wise. So, Kelsey and Jalen were the two super big discrepancies so far.
64 for Hassan Red. I think this is atrocious.
Yeah, he's another guy.
Atrocious.
I would have Hassan Reddick in the top
15.
35. I would have Hassan Reddick maybe like in the
He was magical last year, man.
He was.
Hassan was a magical last year. Like it was like every game you knew he was coming with a big play. Especially
where would you have him? You would have him in the 20s?
I give him in the top 20, 15 even. Like, really? He impacted the game. Well, he was second.
So wait, you would have him over Kelsey and Lane?
On the way he played last year? Yeah. That lineman, this dude was destroying people in the playoffs. The last like 7 games of the season for sure. Every single game, multiple big plays came from Hassan Reddick. You know what I'm saying? The way he played out, he finished out that last season. Like I feel like he was the engine of our defense, you know, making huge plays. So I don't know. I would give him definitely top 20, but I would even put him in the top 15 in terms of overall player. But see, people think Parsons is better. You know, all these other guys are better. You know, they don't give him love because he's on the defense that had all those sacks or whatnot, and all the players that had double-digit sacks, which I don't think that even matters. Like that showed that he's even that much better because he had double-digit sacks before he got here, and his game even went to the next level after. So, yeah, man, 16 sacks, and I think he ended up with 18 and a half sacks. You know, with the playoffs. So yeah, he dominated last year. Devontae Smith. 69.
69. I got Devontae as a top 10 wide receiver. 69. 100 players. I would probably move him up. It's not no big thing. I'm not trying to put him in he's not higher than AJ. I told you AJ was 47. Huh?
AJ was 47.
AJ was 47. I could probably move Devontae up to about 50 something.
If AJ 47, I think Devontae need to be 50.
I agree with that.
Yeah, like somewhere around there. And this guy, second year All-Pro, Landon Dickerson.
Yeah, I probably would move him up.
He's the second best guard in the league right now.
Yeah, I think I would move him up. He'd be in the
at least 50s.
Yeah, around 50.
And then we got Big Play Slay at 96.
Just makes it by the chin hairs. I probably would. Slay's still a dog to me. If I did my top 10 corners, he'd be on the later part of it. He's not. I don't know. I don't know where exactly I rank him in top 10 corners. He's in the top 10, but
he's a Pro Bowler, so he has to be in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah, he's probably more around 7-ish of the top 10. That being said, 96. I'll move him up a little bit, maybe 80.
What do you say about Slay being on the list and Bradbury is just honorable mention?
See, I think they both have to be on the list.
I feel like they screwed both of these guys, even like the way they did it. How the hell is Slay a Pro Bowler? Bradbury's not a Pro Bowler, but Bradbury's an All-Pro, and Slay's not an All-Pro.
Pro Bowl is voted by the All-Pro is voted by the AP who people at AP vote. So it's voted by analysts.
But they're the number one duel in the NFL.
Yeah, but Pro Bowl is voted by the players. The players vote the Pro Bowl. Analysts vote the All-Pro. So Pro Bowl is a popularity. Oh, that's my dog / yo. It's when I play against him, it's tough, but he doesn't, it's a popularity thing. Pro Bowl's pro.
So who do you think is better, considering Slay gets the number ones and Bradbury gets the number 2 receivers?
Bradbury's a dog, but I still think Slay's better.
Okay. Well, that was our top. That was the top 100, man. Do you think any
I can't wait for the
CBS?
NFL top 100 to come
Do you
out.
think there was any other players that CBS missed from the Eagles at least?
Well, yeah, Bradbury.
Goddard, is he that good yet?
He could have slipped in the back door like in 99, 97, 98.
Right. Who else would it be?
Um,
That's pretty much it in terms of like top 100 players. Like we got a lot of good players, but top 100 players.
think
I would say Goddard, maybe if you want to throw him in there.
Sweat. I mean, like
Sweat
had 11
is
sacks.
Sweat's gotten better every single year, and I think he's still getting better. Like he's still pretty young too. Like I don't think he's on a decline at all. So I think Sweat definitely. He had 11 sacks last year. He's making a name for himself for sure. What about Booby?
Yeah.
Do you think Booby
It's
was a top
interesting,
100
but
player last year?
we still got that's think about it, that's 9%. We have 9% of the best players in the NFL.
Do you think Booby should have been on the list?
All for last
1,300
year.
yards last year. You know, Pro Bowl starter.
Is he on the list?
I don't even know if he's on the list.
We wouldn't know because he's not an Eagle no more, so it doesn't matter.
But do you think he deserved to be on the list if he is? If you guys know, I didn't even look at that part, but
Yeah, I didn't look
should
that
be on
far
the list
either.
for sure. I think he should be definitely be.
He might be on the list.
He's not an Eagle anymore, but I think he definitely should have been on that list. Let's see.
Hey, chat, let us know if Miles Sanders was on the list.
I'm looking right now. Let's see. Did we make the cut? Right. Chubbs. Taylor.
Shout to
Vaughn Miller still made the list. Dang. Andrew Saquon.
How far up are you?
I'm at 63. Going down fast. Eckler made the list.
I went from 100 down because if he made a list, he's at the end of it most likely.
So how far down did you get? Because I'm
not even doing that.
Oh, 87. I'm at 87. He did not make Dalvin Cook. Yeah, Booby didn't make the list, man.
Damn, and Dalvin Cook did?
Yeah. I don't know.
What Dalvin Cook do?
I don't know about this list anymore. This list is kind of screwed.
Yeah, that's trash.
Hey, it's off season. What is your way too early prediction for the Eagles this year? I got the Eagles going 15-2.
My sole prediction is 13 wins. I got 13 wins. I think we're gonna
lose one more game than we did last year with a better team, Mike. Really?
Listen, there's gonna be that one game that we just lose because why? Like we said, did you see us losing to Washington the way we did? Like that's gonna happen. So we're gonna have one of them games.
That's one of my two.
We're not playing our starters at the end against them Giants.
13 wins, though. That's 4 losses. I can't see 4 of them.
We're gonna have 2.
I feel like if we went 13-4, there'd be concern going into the playoffs.
What? You're concerned if we go 13-4 with a number with the hardest?
I feel like we went 14-3 and we're a better team. We should be way more dominant this year. So if you're not dominant enough in the regular season, there's something going on.
Hold on.
Nick Sirianni got another year coaching, so now he should have.
Hold up. The Dallas Cowboys are a better football team.
1 second. Go ahead. Keep talking. I'm listening.
All right, now the Dallas Cowboys are a better football team this year than they were last year. You got them twice. There's nobody on last year's schedule better than the Chiefs, the Bills, the Niners, the Dolphins, the Jets. Nobody on our schedule last year was better than all the teams I just named. Now, you could say that the Cowboys was one of the best teams we played. And that's not me saying that the Eagles last year couldn't handle this type of schedule. I think we could. What do we won? I mean, we lost 2 games when Jalen Hurts weren't playing, right? You can't ever tell the future for everything. But what I'm saying is there's 5 teams that are like a lot harder than last year games. And so 13 wins is good. And I'm not saying there's room for more. I think 12 wins is the floor. 12 wins is the floor. I got us winning 13 because I do believe there's going to be a mess up. It happens to every team. The great Chiefs lost to the Colts. The Bengals lost to the Cowboys with Cooper Rush. The Niners lost to the Raiders. The Eagles lost to the Washington Commanders. Like, it happens. And I also think we're going to sit our starters because we have the number 1 seed locked up. But one more time, I'm going to say to you again, think about this, though. Last year, the best team we played was probably the Cowboys with Dak. Now, we didn't have Hurt, so it didn't count, right? Right?
Right.
But now this year, we're playing a better Dallas Cowboys team because they got all their players back, plus they added Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. Are they superstars? No, but they're solid players, right? Name a team last year.
But Dallas got a hard schedule too.
Oh, yeah. But no, forget them. We're just talking about our 13 wins, right?
Okay.
Listen, name a team last year that we played not in a division that's better than the Dolphins. Name a team last year that we played not in a division better than the Jets.
Yeah, it depends because like we played a lot of teams where they were good and they ended up not being good.
Okay, yeah, but even what I'm saying though, even when
and
we
played the Lions, they were number 2.
We played in the first game of the season. They were 0-0.
When we played the Colts, right, they were good, right? Minnesota
they already fired their coach.
Minnesota was good when we played them.
When they were 1-0. Yeah. All right, BG. But listen, even still, listen to this though. I'm not trying to scare you because I'm not scared either.
But listen, but I get it.
The Jets were playing this year. That would be considered the best team last year. The Dolphins were playing this year. That would be considered the best team. The Bills we played this year. That would be considered the best team. The Niners, that would be considered the best team. The Chiefs, that would be considered the best team.
We played the Niners and mollywop them, so I don't count them.
Correct. All right. But we lost to the Chiefs. All right. What I'm saying to you is this, BG.
Forget the Chiefs.
Let me tell you how this is the hard. Let me break it down this way for you. This is the simplest way to break it down, right? Who got the best division in the NFC?
We did.
We played them twice, right?
Right.
Who is the best division in the AFC?
This is the East.
AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
We played all of them.
Okay.
And then the extra game that we get because we don't play 16 games no more, we play 17, is the Super Bowl champions. So hear this out. We played the best division in the NFC twice, the best division in the AFC, and the extra game is the Super Bowl champions.
There you go. That was the first time I heard it broken down like that, Mike.
Best division in the NFC, best division in the AFC, and the extra game, Chiefs. You know what I mean?
Chiefs, there you go.
So
the winner says,
and we are talented enough to beat these teams for sure. Yeah. But it is a harder. It's not like the hardest schedule in NFL history, but it is.
What did you have us going last year?
Harder.
I remember 7-5.
Last year I had us going around 12 wins.
And we won 14.
So now my 13 will turn into 15. That's cool. I like it.
15-2, like I said. 15-2, Mike. I'm not going past 2 losses. I feel like there will be that game that we're just like, you know why? Because every single year, if you look at the NFC East, say that the 2 dominating teams in the NFC East, right? They always lose to the shittiest team in the league, in the division. Always. It always happens. We also watched it last year. You know, Dallas lose to like the Giants. You know, they're always losing to the crappier team in the division. One of the 2 games. So that's automatically a loss. I feel like either the Giants or Washington's probably going to get us on some BS and we're going to lose to them. You know, that's because it's the interdivision game. And then one of those big games, man. I don't think we lose to all those big games, but maybe one of the big games. I don't know which one. You know, like I'm not gonna just say which
Oh
one right
yes,
now.
Seattle's tough too.
Are they?
They're not
Are
tough,
you
but
really scared of Gino?
no. But
Like
listen,
you get heat on Gino, he's a rap.
all right. Let me run it down for you real quick. Seattle versus um again, I'm just talking about Seattle's tougher than some of the teams we played last year. So that's my whole take on it. But we still, guess what? The tough teams we're playing, when they look on the schedule and see the Eagles, they're scared of us. So
Yes.
as much as we're crediting, not scared, we're crediting the other teams, they're saying that's a real team that we're playing too. So we're gonna get everybody's A game too.
Eagles number one in the NFC, obviously. Eagles number one in the league to you. Do we have the most complete football team in the league?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, hey man, I know if we already at 150, man. Shout out to you for even stopping by the platform. Salute to the GOAT, Philly Mike. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe to both channels if you're not subscribed. You know, I know all you guys are. But man, final words, Mike. Tell the Eagles fans something in this off season to make them feel good about training camp.
I mean, the young battles are going to be epic. I think we're going to learn a lot about the depth of this team and the question marks. And like I said, there's a lot of good question marks. Safety is a good question mark. Right guard's a good question mark. And I do believe when it's all said and done, the second linebacker on the roster, on the depth chart, is going to surprise a lot of people. Whether it's Taylor, whether it's Morrow, whether it's Christian Ellis. I'm not here to say that just yet. But one of them guys, you got three guys with potential. We just need one to rise to the occasion.
I feel like I gave up on
Taylor,
Davion. Yeah. Because every time he played good, he'd be like 2 games good and he's hurt.
then he's hurt.
2
Yeah.
games hurt, I'm hurt. I can't get down with nobody that can't stay healthy. Like you gotta stay healthy enough to keep playing. Like I was on his board, like, woo, Davion's gonna be that dude, he's a beast. And even when he did good in his season, like, oh, look at him. But then the next game, like, Davion Taylor's out again for another injury. It's like Tyree Jackson. How you even get a side? Why is he even on the team? I feel like if he gets one more injury and Howie Roseman doesn't cut his ass, he ain't doing his job right. You know, like,
Mhm.
come on. You keeping up a roster spot for these injury prone guys. You know, this is a what have you done for me lately league. You gotta make sure all your
Yes.
players are available. And some of these players just aren't available enough for me to even back up and be behind. So Davon's that guy for sure. Like I feel like Morrow, we could be underestimating the guy. You know, he had one of his better seasons last year. I think him and Dean probably is pretty good. Like you said, Ellis looked good on special teams, so he deserves a spot too. But I wouldn't even be surprised how we go out there and go trade or pay another linebacker. Like I want to get a queen. I want to get a guy to actually have a name. You know, it's time for the Eagles to get another dominant linebacker. Like how many years you gonna go without dominant? Remember we were saying that about cornerback for so long. We used to be the best cornerback team in the league for years. You know, with all those like Litos and Sheldons and Asante
Asante.
Samuels and all them get cats. And it took us a while. We were in a while with not good cornerbacks, and now we got the Bradbury, Slay, Maddox trio and it took us a while to get it, but I think it's that time again. The linebacker, we used to have dogs at linebackers. You know what I'm saying? What was the dude from Buffalo? Tequila Spice was pretty good. Even D'Amico Ryans was on our team. And we had some dog linebackers that were actually like star linebackers. And I think we need to get back to that. Like, I do think Dean's going to be a star, but you need to, the more the merrier. I think this team is pretty good for where we're at. I don't want to pick up another person to after training camp. Maybe after the first, preseason game, after we get to see what these young bucks got, and if any of them are going to step up to the, table and take over the role. But still, we got money, we got time. Eagles about to shine this year for sure. Like I
Shine
said,
bright.
15-2. 2 losses, guys. I'm telling you, 2 losses, Super Bowl champions, Jalen Hurts MVP. And then after the end of this season, I can really say Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the league. So I have some credentials behind it with the Super Bowl win, baby. Yes, sir. Well,
Let's
salute to you,
go.
Philly Mike. Make sure you guys go get your Philly Dog hats out there. The links are inside the description. Make sure you get your Howie tees. The links in the description. Shout out to Print Champ for doing such a great job, getting it out there, man. And shout out to all you guys for being here with us, man. We 2 hours in. We still got y'all in here. Much love to you guys. If you guys are watching us on the replay, man, leave your comments And we definitely get back to you. I definitely get back to you on any of the comments you left. Like I always say at the end of my videos, fly, Eagles, fly. Till next time, this BG, Philly Mike, we out. Peace.